In 2023, more than 250,000 Texans relocated to Colorado, making Texas the largest source of new residents for the Centennial State. In our next video, we reveal the surprising state name that's become a top destination for Texans on the move. But first, let's explore why so many Texans are increasingly choosing Colorado as their new home, and some of the reasons they're leaving the Lone Star State. 8. Homelessness. Texas, with its booming economy and rapid population growth, has emerged as a national leader in homelessness. A 2024 study by the Texas Homeless Network found over 103,200 people experiencing homelessness on a single night, with nearly 82,000 living unsheltered. This translates to a rate significantly higher than the national average, placing Texas among the top 5 states with the highest homeless populations. In comparison, Colorado, with a population of over 5.7 million, has an estimated homeless population of 76,439. According to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, Colorado's homeless population has decreased by 10% since 2022. Colorado has adopted a more proactive approach to addressing homelessness. The state prioritizes affordable housing initiatives and has a robust network of social services. In 2020, Colorado implemented the nation's first statewide homelessness plan, aiming to prevent homelessness and increase access to permanent supportive housing. 7. Colorado offers superior weather. Texas boasts undeniable sunshine. Summers are long and hot, perfect for those who relish poolside lounging. However, the relentless heat can be oppressive, with highs regularly exceeding 105 degrees Fahrenheit. The humidity adds another layer of discomfort, making even simple tasks feel like a workout. Colorado, on the other hand, offers a delightful escape from the Texas inferno. Summer days are warm and sunny, with average highs around 81 to 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Winter in Texas is a mild affair, with occasional dips below freezing. While this may sound appealing to those fleeing the snow, it also means missing out on the magic of a true winter wonderland. Colorado, on the other hand, transforms into a winter paradise. 6. Property tax burdens in Texas. Texas leans heavily on property taxes to fund local governments. Since there's no income tax, school districts, counties, and municipalities rely on property tax revenue. This can result in high effective tax rates, which is the total tax paid divided by the property's market value. The average effective property tax rate in Texas sits around 1.6%, which might seem low at first glance. However, when coupled with rising property values, Texans can face substantial annual tax bills. For example, imagine a couple who purchased a home in a desirable Texas suburb for $500,000. With a 1.6% tax rate, their annual property tax bill would be $8,000. Over 10 years, with property values potentially increasing, their tax burden could climb significantly. Colorado, on the other hand, has a state income tax of 4.15%, but boasts a lower average effective property tax rate of around 0.45%. This means that for a similarly priced home of $500,000, the annual property tax would be roughly $2,750. While the income tax adds another layer of consideration, the lower property tax offers some financial relief. Texas has a base state sales tax rate of 6.25%. However, local jurisdictions can add up to an additional 2%, bringing the combined rate to a maximum of 8.25%. In contrast, Colorado boasts a much lower state sales tax rate of just 2.5%. Local jurisdictions in Colorado can also add on sales taxes, but the rates tend to be lower than those seen in Texas. 5. Lone Star low wages. The most glaring difference lies in minimum wage. Texas adheres to the federal minimum of $7.25 per hour, leaving many workers struggling to make ends meet. Colorado boasts a minimum wage of $11.10, significantly higher and closer to a living wage. This translates to a real difference in people's lives. Imagine 2 cashiers, one in Dallas, Texas, and the other in Denver, Colorado, working full-time, 40 hours a week. The Texan earns roughly $15,080 annually, barely scraping by. The Colorado cashier, on the other hand, takes home $23,040. A more secure foundation for housing, food, and other necessities. Consider two individuals working full-time, 40 hours per week in the fast food industry. In Texas, earning minimum wage, they would make $14,500 annually. In Colorado, with the higher minimum wage, they could earn $22,200 per year. This represents a substantial difference in income, impacting their ability to afford basic necessities and potentially hindering their path towards financial security. 4. Traffic congestion in Texas. Texas, the Lone Star State, is notorious for its gridlocked highways. Major cities like Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Austin consistently rank among the worst in the nation for traffic congestion. The Texas Department of Transportation cites rapid population growth, sprawling urban development, and a heavy reliance on personal vehicles as key culprits. Imagine this: you're stuck on I-35 in Austin during rush hour. The once picturesque highway transforms into a parking lot of frustrated drivers. What should have been a 20-minute commute stretches into an hour, testing your patience and burning precious gas. This scenario, unfortunately, is a common experience for Texans in major cities. In contrast, Colorado, with its focus on outdoor recreation and a more balanced transportation approach, experiences less severe traffic congestion. Denver, the state's largest city, ranks lower on traffic congestion lists compared to Texas metropolises. Let's consider a specific example. Imagine two professionals, Sarah in Dallas and Michael in Denver. Both commute to work on a Wednesday morning. Sarah, reliant on her car, might face bumper-to-bumper traffic on Interstate 35, a major highway notorious for congestion. This could easily add an hour or more to her commute. Michael, on the other hand, could opt for the Denver RTD light rail system, a reliable and efficient network that could significantly reduce his travel time. While Colorado isn't immune to traffic challenges, its proactive approach towards public transportation and infrastructure development helps mitigate congestion. Texas, with its car-dependent culture and rapid population surge, faces a more significant hurdle. 3. Poverty. Texas, with a poverty rate exceeding 14%, struggles to provide a safety net for its citizens. A key factor is the state's low minimum wage, which fails to keep pace with the rising cost of living. Many Texans, particularly those working multiple low-wage jobs, find themselves below the poverty line. Furthermore, Texas's decision to opt out of Medicaid expansion under the Affordable Care Act has left millions without access to subsidized health insurance. This lack of affordable health care creates a vicious cycle, where medical emergencies can plunge families deeper into poverty. Colorado, on the other hand, boasts a poverty rate below 10%. One contributing factor is a robust minimum wage that offers a more livable income. Additionally, Colorado embraced Medicaid expansion, extending health insurance coverage to a significant portion of its low-income population. Access to preventative care and treatment helps Colorado residents avoid financial burdens associated with medical debt and improve overall health outcomes. This, in turn, allows individuals to remain employed and contribute more productively to the state's economy. Let's consider the example of Sarah, a single mother of two in Texas. Working full-time at a retail store, she barely makes ends meet. When her son falls ill, the high cost of medical care forces her to choose between paying rent and seeking treatment. This difficult decision can lead to a cascade of negative consequences, potentially pushing Sarah's family deeper into poverty. In contrast, Emily, a single mother in Colorado, faces a similar situation. However, with access to subsidized health care, she can get her son the treatment he needs without jeopardizing their financial stability. This allows Emily to focus on work and maintain a decent standard of living for her family. 2. Similar crime rates. While Texas and Colorado paint vastly different landscapes, both geographically and culturally, a surprising comparison emerges when looking at overall crime rates. Texas boasts a lower overall crime rate compared to Colorado, according to the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting data. The most recent year available will likely be 2022. Texas has a violent crime rate around 432 per 100,000 residents, while Colorado sits at a higher 492. This translates to roughly 60 more violent crimes per 100,000 people in Colorado. Property crime rates follow a similar trend, with Texas clocking in at under 2,700 per 100,000 compared to Colorado's over 3,100. Let's unpack this with a real-world example. Imagine two cities, one in Texas and one in Colorado, with populations of 100,000 each. Based on the national averages, the Texas city could expect approximately 43 violent crimes compared to 49 in the Colorado city. This might include crimes like aggravated assault or robbery. Property crimes would also be more frequent in Colorado, with an estimated 3,100 incidents compared to Texas's 2,700. These could involve theft, burglary, or motor vehicle theft. 1. Inflation. Texas, historically known for its lower cost of living, has seen inflation rates largely mirroring the national average. According to the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts, inflation surged in 2021 and reached a peak of around 5% in May 2022. This rise can be attributed to national trends like supply chain disruptions and the war in Ukraine. Colorado saw 4.5% inflation rates, compared to the national average of 8.5%. This can be partially explained by factors specific to Colorado, such as a booming housing market that outpaces wage growth. Let's consider a real-life example to illustrate the impact of inflation disparity. Imagine a family living in each state, both with a monthly grocery budget of $500 in 2020. By May 2022, with an inflation rate of 5%, the Texas family would need an extra $25 per month to maintain their grocery habits. In Colorado, with an inflation rate of 4.5%, the same family would face a steeper climb of $22.50 to buy the same groceries. The key differentiator might lie in specific categories. Both states have witnessed a surge in energy costs, a national trend. However, Colorado, lacking significant domestic energy production, might experience a steeper price increase at the pump. This can be exemplified by the cost of gasoline. While a gallon of gas in Dallas might have risen by 8%, the same gallon in Denver could have increased by 10%. This disproportionate impact on transportation costs can significantly affect Coloradans, especially those who rely on cars for daily commutes.